Hello there and welcome. My name is Jason Tate. I am a teacher, 16-year veteran in the Desert Sands Unified School District. I teach over at Indio High School in the Hands Health and Nutritional Sciences Academy. I'm here today to talk with you about a really cool and amazing survey called the VIA Character Strengths Survey. So I'm going to share my screen right now and we're going to dive right into this survey. Okay. This is the Character Strengths Intro and Analysis. This is in partnership with the VIA Institute on Character, and I'll be providing an analysis on what these character strengths mean for you, all 24 of them. So, well, not all 24, but I'll be talking about the 24 and we'll be organizing them so that they make sense. This is just a health disclaimer. If you make any health decisions or whatever, make sure you consult your doctor, and I'm not your doctor. So the VIA Institute on Character was actually formed as it is a nonprofit organization actually formed here in the United States, and it's dedicated to bringing the science of character strengths to the world. And so they've actually conducted over 13 million individual people surveys across the planet in every country in the world. They have translators for all of their different surveys, and they've done this all over the entire globe. And this has kind of been this psychometric validated personality test so that they can measure character strengths. And they've kind of settled on 24 character strengths across 6 core virtues. VIA used to stand for Values and Action Inventory, but it has since kind of taken on the meaning of via as in the Latin term road or path, because the Institute is connecting research and practice. So here are all 24. And when you perform the VIA survey, you'll get a list of them in order from 1 to 24. And I'm going to talk about that with you today. They do fall into these 6 core virtues. For example, the virtue of wisdom has creativity, curiosity, judgment, love of learning, and perspective, whereas the core virtue of humanity has love, kindness, and social intelligence. And you can see the others here. You can organize your 24 after you've completed the survey into your signature strengths, which are your top strengths, your middle strengths, and your lesser strengths. And I'm going to be talking about each of those 3 groups. So your signature strengths, these are your key to your purpose and your fulfillment, what we call our dharma, your why you're here. You know, these are the ones that kind of help you find your why and, you know, your existence. Why you're here? What are you doing in this world? What is it you're here for? So these are your top 4 to 8. If you really focus on the top 4, that's fine. But really, you know, if we want to break it up, there's 24 divided by 3 is 8. So I have actually, these are my top 8 right here. Creativity, love of learning, appreciation of beauty, kindness. These are my top 4. These are the ones that when you practice them singularly or in combination, they really describe us when we're at our best, like it says. When you know your signature strengths, you can kind of organize your career. You can organize your daily life. And if you're having a bad day, drop in on your signature strengths. Okay. If I'm having a bad day, but then I could go and learn a new skill, I can kind of turn that day around and have a great day. Or if I can engage in something creative, do an art project or build something, wow, I can really turn my day around because these are my signature strengths. This is where I'm happy. So this is really an exploration into who am I? This is answering that question, who am I? Your middle strengths, your middle 4 to 8, these are your supporting strengths. In many ways, they support your signature strengths. So let me give you an example. One of them here is forgiveness. Okay, number 14. Forgiveness, I honestly believe that, and I actually have a saying, gratitude and forgiveness are the Sherpas, our guides, our hiking guides on the mountain of mental health and mental wellness. So our mental health and mental wellness is our ability to be resilient and handle stress and anxiety and depression and find happiness and positivity and fulfillment in our lives. So when I can forgive and be forgiving, which takes some effort for me, it certainly is not easy for me to do, but something that is easy for me as I go back up, gratitude. Gratitude is a signature strength. I am just so grateful all the time. And this is one that actually I've been practicing, and I've moved this one up. When I originally took the VIA survey 5 years ago now, gratitude was not one of my signature strengths. So this is a lesson for you. If it's somewhere kind of in your middle strengths and you want it to be a signature strength, focus on it, practice it, keep working on it constantly, day in and day out and day in and day out, year after year after year. And you can move some of these strengths a little bit. Okay. You're not going to necessarily move a lesser strength all the way up to your signature strengths, but you can move some of these strengths a little bit. So forgiveness and gratitude, I work on those two together to really inspire myself to be positive and to help others, and to kind of, help others with their positivity and their life and their happiness. So this, the middle strengths, they're like the supporting actor, right? You've got the leading actor in a role in a movie, and then the supporting actor. Both of them are important. Can't even imagine the movie without the supporting actor, right? If it was just the lead actor. So I want you to kind of think of it like that. They're that important as they work together. And then something else that you really should understand, your lesser strengths, the ones that are at the bottom, these aren't weaknesses, not by any stretch of the imagination. Your lesser strengths, they don't occur easily and they're not natural to you. They actually require a fair amount of effort and energy. And it doesn't mean that you're weak at them. It just means that they're not fun for you. Okay. So for example, if leadership was down here in your lesser strengths, that doesn't mean that if you were asked to be the leader in your group at school, that you couldn't do it. Of course you can do it, but you're not going to love it. You're not going to jump at it. All right. If your teacher puts you into groups of 4 and says, okay, one of you needs to be the leader of your group, you're not going to go, ooh, me, because it's not something that's important to you. And that's okay. It's not a weakness. It's just something that's not a strength of yours. It's not something that you love to do. For example, myself, perseverance. Okay. This is finishing what one starts. I am involved in a lot of projects. I'm involved in a lot of things. I teach, I work, I do lectures and speaking and nonprofit and YouTube, and it's crazy. And I do projects at home, and it's just, there's so many things. And I'm very much like my mother in that way, is that I can do a lot of different things, but I don't necessarily always finish everything that I start. And I'm really good at starting things, and I'm really good at coming up with ideas because I'm very creative. That's my number one. So perseverance for me, finishing what I start, is not a signature strength. It's not even a middle strength for me. It's number 20. So what do I do about that? Well, what I can do is, first of all, acknowledge that it is a lesser strength. And I know it's important. I want to finish things that I start. So how can I overcome that? Well, I can partner with somebody or work with somebody who is good at perseverance, who has perseverance in their signature strengths, and kind of let them push me, and even work with them knowing that they're the ones who are going to kind of light a fire under my butt and keep me going. That's how you use your lesser strengths. You know them, you acknowledge them, and then if they're important for your life, you have others help you with that by filling in that gap for you. It's a great way to look at your lesser strengths. How do we best use our strengths? Problem solving. Okay, that's certainly one of them. Anytime you encounter a problem, Go to your signature strengths. Use your, this is you. This is your superpower. Okay. Your strengths are kind of like a superpower. Okay. You have a cape and you have, a big letter on your chest or whatever it is. Mine is C for creativity. That's my superpower. So use it. Okay. When it comes to solving problems, go to your number one signature strength and go to your number, 1 through 4. Use those to solve problems. That's where you're going to be at your best. Career planning. I can't even stress how important this is. You're going to have jobs in your life, and that's okay. You might be waiting tables. You might be, washing cars. You might have many jobs. But when you settle on a career, you definitely want to know what your signature strengths are. And you want to plan a career where you can engage in your signature strengths on a daily basis. Because if you are in a career where you aren't engaging any of your signature strengths, there's a very good chance that you're not going to be fulfilled. You might be good at it, but you're not going to be fulfilled. You're not going to be living a happy life. And that's one of the metrics in America, unfortunately. Job satisfaction is actually very low. And it has more to do with you understanding what your strengths are and who you are as a person than actual jobs out there. You might actually be in a job that you can do well, but you hate it. You don't like it. And there's somebody else out there in the world who would love that job because of their strengths. So it's really about finding out who you are and what you're good at and tailoring your life and working towards that. All right. And lastly, strength spotting in others. This works with your friends. This works with little groups that you're in. Be able to strength spot in others. Study these 24. And then, kind of notice how other people are engaging and working in these 24 character strengths and learn how to strength spot in other people. It will make you better at reading other people, and it'll make you better at working with other people as well. And lastly, this slide kind of takes it to a whole nother level. This is the circumflex of strengths. And I'll be sharing the slideshow, by the way, with OneFuture so that they can give it to you as a PDF file. But I just want to point out that this has these 4 matrices here. So in your head, in the mind, in your heart, interpersonal, and intrapersonal. Interpersonal, like it says over here, is more of an extrovert. These are things where you work with other people. Obviously, teamwork is over here. Leadership is over here. Kindness is over here. Intrapersonal, something you do within yourself. Over here, we have creativity and curiosity and the love of learning, hope and zest. These are things that are just happening kind of within you, right? And then, of course, in our heart, love, gratitude, humor, spirituality, kindness, these are in our heart. But what do we have in our head? Honesty, self-regulation, judgment, prudence, and that perseverance. It's in our head. So, this is a great way. Find out where you are in this target to find out deeper understanding of who you are. So definitely figure out where your 24 fall onto that map. And I want to end with gratitude because again, like I said, I practice gratitude. I practice focusing on gratitude, and it just feels so good. So I'll read this to you. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, and a stranger into a friend. And this is by Melody Beatty. My name is Jason Tate. Thank you for your time.